Welcome back to the OnSign TV Academy. In this Academy video, we'll be covering playlists. A playlist is a loop of content you selected. In this video, you'll see the two primary ways to quickly create them, and how to adjust playlist settings like duration and playback restrictions. You'll also learn to organize your playlist content and the different playback modes available. So let's get started. There are two simple ways to create a playlist. First, you can right-click an item and select New Playlist. Of course, this also works if you select multiple files at once. The second way is to just click on New, then on Playlist. Let's quickly cover the basics. Of course, assign a name, and if you wish, add a category or create one if you haven't created any so far here, and tags. We'll get back to these settings up here once we've completed building our playlist. This area here is where your playlist items will be allocated, and you'll find your content library in this pillar on the left. Simply drag and drop the content you want to include. Use the search bar to find content faster. You can put any type of visual content into a playlist. This means videos, images, compositions, campaigns, and even other playlists. You can organize the order of your playlist items by dragging them around. And in case you have a really long playlist where dragging isn't so convenient, it might be easier to hover over an item and click on Move, then specify where you want it to be in the playlist. For removing items from the playlist, simply click on the X here. You can also duplicate items if you wish to repeat them in the playlist. Simply click on Duplicate and then drag the copies around. A convenient hack for the future: when you have a massive playlist and want to eliminate these duplicates at once, when you start removing them, OnSign TV will detect what you're trying to do and will ask you if you want to remove all copies at once. This effectively ensures no duplicates are left behind. You can add restrictions to each piece of content in the playlist. Click on this little clock icon, then Add Restriction, and you can allow the content to be played only on certain days, only on Mondays, for example. You can also set a restriction only to players with a specific tag. Moving on, you can edit the configuration of each playlist element by clicking on this gear icon. Here you can specify the transition manner in which the playlist item will come and go on the display. Keep in mind, though, that not all players support transitions. Within this configuration, you can also set the item duration. You don't have to set a custom duration here. If you leave this empty, the item will play for the default duration set on the playlist as a whole. Specify this default duration here. Content such as apps and images don't have an inherent duration, so you can manage them this way. Videos do have a duration, so they will automatically play for their entire length. You can of course override this manually, but do so with care, as it will trim the video. Campaigns don't have a configuration setting since they already have a set duration and transitions. To adjust these settings, you need to edit the campaign itself. Once you've imported all the content you want into your playlist, you can shuffle it by category if you want. Tick Distribute by category, and elements of the same category, such as images, will be distributed evenly for variety. They won't be one after another. Don't forget, you can also use the search bar here to highlight certain items so you can find them faster. This button here will estimate the playlist duration. Enter the date and time when the playback will begin, location, and player tags. This will take into account any restrictions you placed on the content to give you an accurate assessment. You'll see the duration here, and you can change these parameters again if needed. Lastly, take a look at the playback modes. By default, this playlist will be played from start to finish. This mode is the simplest. Then you have the cycle mode, which will only play a few items from the playlist at once. The player will remember where the playlist stopped and continue where it dropped off the next time this playlist comes up. And finally, we have the Play for Duration mode, which will only let the playlist run for the specified number of seconds before moving on to the next item on the agenda. Once everything is set up, click on Save and Publish to Players, and select the desired player or players. As you may know, you can set further player restrictions here. Once everything is set up how you want it, hit publish. And there you have it. Your playlist is set and ready to go.